G'day guys, Duckville here. Welcome to another match. We are going to have a look at Villa. This player here, the red Protoss here, at the top right position, 2 o'clock if you're on the rocket clock, on Zelnaga Caverns. He's going to be against oGsTOP, one of the better players in the OGS team. Obviously OGS, that's saying a lot, featuring because OGS features some of the really awesome players in the current GSL seasons and all of that jazz. We've got Nada and Wind. I suppose Wind is actually now the coach of the team, so he might not be playing, although I'm not sure. But yeah, this one's actually red hot off the presses. This was just grabbed. I just grabbed this one straight away when it was up on the replay site that I jump on, and I have not actually watched this at all. So hopefully we can keep on top of what's happening, and we'll see some cool stuff come out of these guys. So we've got, yeah, as I said, Villa up the top here. Zelnaga Caverns it sort of favors Terran a little bit in some respects, because it is very easy to pull off some harass. Not to mention the fact that you can actually, with siege tanks, you can chuck them along this edge here, and because of how small the actual area is of the actual base, if you're not careful with your building positionings, you can actually lose a lot to siege tanks, and it's really unfortunate when that happens. Not to mention blink. Blink harass can be good there as well. But for Protoss players, they do have to be careful of putting their buildings along these edges here for the exact same reason, because a lot of the time you can actually get pylons within range of any sort of ground units that can come up and be really annoying and sort of kill off your pylons, which can hurt a bit, but just make sure you're careful of that sort of thing. But speaking of annoying, we've got a probe in here harassing this SCV. He's not going to let him get away. He's going to run into the mineral line with him, but the SCV is going to stay alive for the moment. He might even get repaired, I suppose, but looks like Villa's going to leave that one there for the time being. Meanwhile, back at Villa's base, he's got his cyber core on the way. 2 assimilators are going to be here shortly, and just 1 gate for the moment. So, as I said, I actually have no idea what goes on in this particular game, because I haven't actually had a look at it, just grabbed it straight up. But we will probably see. I'm assuming Top's going to do some sort of expansion sort of style, because he does like that sort of play, and especially on this map it can be pulled off by the Terrans, given that, as I said, the harass is very good for them. As you can see here, that could be correct. We've got Top here with an SCV. He looks like he's just skirting it around. He's probably going to chuck down. There we go. We've got the command center going down. So it's going to head out with that pretty quick expansion there. That was on something like 23 supply or something like that. Villa's a little bit supply block. Gets that fixed up now. That's all good. And he's going to need to take out this SCV before he proceeds any further with his tech, because Protoss players do like to hide which particular tech path they're going, and he does indeed do that. He's going to chuck down the robo facility, and he's going to get something bumping. Warp tech is on the way for Villa as well, so he's probably going to get a couple more gates on the way, I would assume. Then he's going to push out and expand. Perhaps he might put some harass down on top, but we'll see what happens. Just at the front of top space, we've got a couple of Marines here ready to stop any scouting. There we go. We got the probe goes down. He's oGsTOP is just letting him know that's not going to happen. And another Rax goes down. So Top's currently sitting on just the 2 racks for the moment. So I'm not actually sure if Villa actually saw that the expansion's up. He didn't for the moment. So he probably isn't aware that that Top has expanded just at the moment. He may be suspecting as much, but we'll have to see how he reacts to that. They're currently having a little bit of banter at the moment. Not really sure what they're up to, but either way, Villa's going to see the expansion with the observer coming out shortly, and he will be able to see that the expansion's up, and that Top is only sitting on the 2 racks for the moment, although he does have a 3rd just about done. Combat shields is done, conch shells is done, so there's a lot of tech coming out here from Top, a lot of the low tier tech, I suppose you could say. And he's going to be using a bunker here just to protect, just in case there's any harass at the start. Interesting to see that the bunker, normally you either see a bunker over here in this sort of position here at the front of the command center, or over here a little bit more towards the ramp, so you can actually cover both sides. He actually salvages it straight away. Just interesting point to note there, guys. If you building a bunker and you obviously don't want to keep it, do not cancel it. Wait until it's done and then salvage it, because if you cancel it, you won't get all of your money back. You'll only get a partial amount. I can't remember, what are the maths on that? Someone let me know. I think it's 75 minerals instead of the 100 that it takes to build it. So if you salvage it, you actually get your 100 back. It is only a little amount of minerals, but every little bit counts, as everyone would know. So make sure you do keep that in mind, Terran players. We've just sort of got the probe transfer going on here from Villa. So he's moved down. He's got his saturation going nicely at both bases. They're sort of just on the sort of saturation point for probes. This one's doing nicely as well, and we'll hopefully see him skyrocket up in production shortly. But he's currently getting a scan here on the observer that was watching these Marines and Marauders just hanging around the front there. So that's a nice little bit of work there from top, just making sure he can deny any more scouting from Villa. And we now have 3 reactors here on the 4 racks. We've got 1 tech lab and 3 reactors, so we're probably going to see a whole bunch of Marines pop out shortly. And in fact, he's probably going to rally all these racks up to the front, and it looks as if Top's going to be moving in to try and have a shot at the front of Villa's base. Villa madly grabbing some gateways and getting the macro going to try and pump out some units while he can. Currently sitting on way up there on 300 APM, and Top's sort of sitting just on 150. So we'll see how that shapes this particular game. Obviously, Villa's doing a little bit better in his actual macro at the moment, but of course that has sort of suffered because he doesn't have a huge force. I would not say this is the biggest way to counter this Marine Marauder force at the moment. It sort of depends how the force fields go down. We do have one choking the forces up a little bit. The stim goes down, the Marine Marauder pushes in, and the Stalkers are going to have a little bit of troubleshooting some of these units, especially given that the Marines can still hit some of these guys from range. So a little bit of a bad positioning there from Villa. He might just hold this off, given that Stim's taken off a lot of health of these units. So the probes come in, given that the Stalkers can't do their job, so the probes come in and tell them to that they're going to finish off these guys, and he does indeed finish it off. But what this has done is given Top a little bit of time to catch up in his economy. So we've sort of got he's catching up in the SCVs, as you can see here. Not to mention he's actually put down another command center. So there's going to be a 3rd command center on the way shortly. We'll probably see this one float over here, and perhaps a planetary fortress will go down there. I'm not sure. No, not at the moment at least. We don't actually have an engineering base, so no planetary fortress just for the moment. So let's just currently have a quick look back on what the guys have at the moment. We've got Villa sitting here on his 4 gates, 1 robo. He does have a robotics bay just about done, and it is done, sorry. It's researching the extended thermal lance, and that's really going to help out against the bio forces of Top. And what we have, just his actual forces at the moment, we've currently got a few Stalkers. We've got 5 Zealots, 2 Sentries, and 1 Colossus is now done. So we'll see Villa's just grabbing out what units he can just to counter what Top has, obviously based on that initial push that Top did. And he's going to use some Colossus to actually counter what Top's doing at the moment. Interesting to see, Top is actually, he's going to move this command center over to the gold instead. So he's going to try and take advantage of the fact that he can push out there. He's not going to be able to get still not going to be able to get a planetary fortress done just yet, because the engineering bay is almost done. But he will certainly get that up shortly, and we'll probably see him move up with some SCVs and make sure he can put turrets down and get some more covering sort of buildings to make sure that Villa cannot push in against that command center at the gold, so he can hold his eco advantage. So this is a point where Villa really needs to consider what he's going to do from now. He is putting out some chrono on his warp gates at the moment. He does have 2 Colossi just coming down with this force here. Very Zealot heavy in this one. He obviously knows that there's a lot of Marauders in this ball from oGsTOP, and it looks as if they're coming into the gold. Some Vikings are here to counter the Colossus. They're going to move across and try and counter the Colossus. There are really not enough Stalkers to shoot down all of those Vikings before they cause too much damage. Some force fields blocking out the Zealots just before they can actually get to the actual Marine Marauder ball to try and cut them up. And it looks as if the Planetary Fortress actually made a meal of some of these Zealots as well, because the Planetary Fortress was big splash damage and its big actual hitting power that it actually has, as you can see here, actually does 40 damage, and interestingly it actually does a little bit more damage to the unit that's next to its target. So riddle me that one, Batman, but I'm really not sure how that works. Either way, Villa's going to come across to this side instead. He might try and flank the planetary fortress, but I don't think so. Top hasn't actually seen that he's moved across to the side here, but he probably will scout it shortly. And it looks as if Villa's going to try and push in here while he can, because the Marine Marauders are off to the side. The Colossus are making shots go down on the Marine Marauder at the front. The Vikings are taking shots at the Colossus, and the two Colossi are just about dead. There we go, they're both dead now. And it looks as if Top might be in a little bit of trouble here. There are a lot of Stalkers which are taking out all of the Vikings, and the Vikings have landed to try and support their ground buddies here. But it looks as if the Stalkers may have a slight advantage, but you would assume, given that this is inside Top's base, he's going to have enough to come and support here. And as we can see, some more Stalkers have warped in from the pylons that were put just up here. And looks as if Villa's going. He might be stopped here, but it was a really great encounter there for Villa. He's cleaned up a lot of the forces that oGsTOP had around, and we will probably see just a little bit of a recovery here from Villa. I don't think he... Oh, no, he's still going to push. He's going to grab another 3 Stalkers and 3 Zealots. This is not going to be enough, especially given that the Zealots don't have charge. Stalkers don't have blinks. There's no way he's going to be able to take out this with the micro there from Top, as you can see, using Stim and the fact that Marauders have their slow to great advantage there. And Villa's still pushing forward with all of these forward pylons. So let's just have a quick look at what Villa's got. He's starting to get a bit low in the main, and I think we'll probably see him try and use another attack for cover to put down the Nexus at his third base. I'm not going to be surprised if he try and actually destroys the rocks there. That was really terrible English, my bad. He's probably going to push out and use the cover of an attack to take the gold expansion there. Sorry, I'm having a bad day. And he's going to do this shortly, I think, but it looks as if Top's going to counter that while some units are warping in here. Zealots stuck at the back. This is really not good for the Protoss forces if the Zealots are going to get stuck at the back. And I think I heard legs were done. Is that correct? No, not sure. But the Stalkers are coming down here. Stalkers are going to take out all of the Vikings here before they can actually take out any of the Colossi. Colossi standing across this ridge here. It's like watching War of the Worlds here. They're just going to stand way back and actually clean up everything here that Top has. And there is also an Immortal taking shots here at cleaning up some of the Marauders as well. But the Marauders are stimming up. The SCVs are coming out to play as well. And there are just way too many forces here from Top. He's actually done a great job using his SCVs that were pulled from the line to just create a bit of a meat shield there for all of those units. And we're sort of getting to this stage now that the main's gone, where Villa really needs to either make a good punch into Top's base or get an expansion going, because he's going to get very stuck soon. I think he's actually going to move across. Yeah, he's going to take this one down here at the side. We do have another battle here in the middle, though. There are a couple of Colossi here, not Colossi, Mortals that are going to take shots at the Marauders and clean them up. The Stalkers, however, are just really getting pounded here by all of the Marauders, because there are so many Marauders just cleaning up everything, using the power of Stim and obviously the healing from the Medevacs, although these Medevacs are a bit out of energy, so they won't be doing too much healing. And some more Stalkers are going to come across and try and take advantage of that, taking out some of these Marauders here. Bam! And we get a GGO from Villa, and that is it. So we sort of see just a little bit sloppy on the macro play there from Villa. He sort of he tried to push really hard off these 8 gates on the 2 base, and used the Colossi as well, but just didn't really have enough to actually take out what Top had in his side of the map there. Not to mention, Top actually had the gold expansion there, so he was able just to absolutely smash out a whole bunch of units, given that he had a whole bunch of reactors here as well. As we can see, he was just getting so many medevacs as well to heal up his Marine Marauder. But great play from Top there, just controlling the tempo of the game. I think that was where he did that really well, and just a bit unfortunate that Villa was not able to get his 3rd expansion up, because he really needed that to support his forces. But great game there, guys. Hope you liked that one. That was a pretty quick one. Gonna have some more over the weekend, so we'll see what happens. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.